weird thing about... Wait, should I change mobile suits?
Shit.
I
I think it'll give you a chance to go back.
think you're right. But yeah, that's essentially the sub for the whole of 0079. And now we go around with white base, as it is called. I know, original is hell name, do not steal. Now you can fill them in on what you've made your pet project for the last year, thanks to isolation.
No, this was going on long before that.
Wasn't it? I swear it started at the beginning of the year.
No, this was something I was doing ever since the summer of 2019.
Guess so. I swear you started that because like there was nothing else really going on for anime at the time.
Probably. So I watched the Gundam trilogy because I hadn't seen the hilarious dub in like 10 or 12 years. And I wanted to remember how funny it was.
Which one? Oh, the trilogies.
Yeah, the 79 trilogy.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hear the funny dub where they say Gundam.
Yep.
And
you
so
guys familiar with the snowball effect?
I watched those. Cause I want to give I should probably also give an outline of what I had seen prior to that moment. Because I had seen some of Gundam, but not much in the grand scheme of things. Prior to this marathon, I had seen 79 and 79 Zeta and Unicorn, a bit of Seed, 00, and Orphans.
Yeah.
So I went back after watching the 79 movies because it was funny to watch Zeta. And then from there, battle prep. I
can just back out.
Yeah.
It should keep you our location.
Yeah. Where will that spit you out at? Click it.
I think there's a continue.
Select area.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
then
not a big deal. I'm
second.
at atmosphere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the difference between single and continuous. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, I mean...
And then now you can go nuts.
Yeah. Okay, so we should also establish a ground rule, so we would talk about this. We are allowed to go absolutely fucking batshit insane with choosing whatever mech we essentially want, but the rule is we have to play as a protagonist mech of each series at least once, in each story.
Yes.
So, like, unfortunately, stuff like Star Wars Never you will not get to see. Well, I mean, I might try this to drop a nuke on people, I don't know. Gotta use the Mark II at least once. Let's see, what the hell is it? The Titan Gundam is optional.
The which one?
The Titan's Gundam.
Oh.
Titan's Mark II.
Well, that...
What the hell even is it?
It's 4th or 5th one. 6th one.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
I would use that one instead because it's the same thing, just in a different color.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, a better looking color.
Yeah, so like there's a bunch of series in here we'll never really get to see. Like, especially the DLC mechs. Oh my god, they get extravagant.
Yeah.
Boy, hey, where are we gonna get that crossbow anime, guys? Just saying.
You know, people are speculating that's what's coming next after the Hathaway's Flash trilogy.
God, I wish that were me. Yeah, I'll use it.
But the voice of Seabook / what the fuck, Kincaid died in 2019. So
oh shit, yeah.
So Koji Sujitani. So if and when that happens, that's going to be a few years. They're going to want to.
You guys know how that goes.
To pay his respects.
You guys know how that goes with Japan. If a voice actor dies, that voice actor was the character. So yep.
Which is why it was so funny playing 3 Super Robot Wars games back to back, where Kincaid or Seabook is there all 3 times.
Oops. Yeah.
So I got my fill of him for a little while, so I guess I'm satisfied for now.
That's fair.
So yeah, I watched Zeta, and that was a lot of fun. Re-experiencing that too, because Zeta is a roller coaster of emotions.
Zeta is fundamentally the best story of UC, but it's also one of the worst told, I think.
You can skip this. We watched the cutscene.
Oh yeah, you're right. Oopsie.
Skip movies. And that was a hell of a time, rewatching all of that again. And so at that point I said, fuck it. I have nothing else to do for a while. There's nothing else interesting happening at the time. So this was also after I changed locations. I was transferred at work to a new location and had infinitely more time as well as functioning internet. So I decided, you know what, screw it. Let's just go ahead and watch the rest of UC that I haven't seen yet. So a month or two later, I started watching Double Zeta. I got about 15 episodes in. I was absolutely fucking loving it. The critics are wrong. Double Zeta is fucking great. It is comedy gold. And it was also a great idea to follow up a tragedy with a comedy.
Tomino's a chaotic creature.
Yes, he is.
Absolutely.
And so I got about 15 episodes in, and then my primary computer died, so I had to take it in for repairs, and that took like 2 months. Fuck you, Geek Squad. And I kind of lost the will to watch it for a while.
I think it was because it was coming up next, also, yeah.
And so I gave up for 6 months, I think, until February or March of this year. That was when the quarantine started. Yeah. That was when I went back to Double Zeta. And that was when I said, okay, if we're doing this for real. 3 episodes a day, every single day that I'm at work. And in a matter of 4 or 5 months, I managed to watch the entirety of Universal Century from where I was at in Double Zeta. That means Double Zeta, we watched Char's Counterattack and F91 together. Yep. That was a great day, because we watched those on their 4K HDR Blu-ray versions.
That was definitely worth it.
And that was jumping around a little bit. Went back afterwards to watch Unicorn. God, I do not... Unicorn's pretty, but it's the stupidest that Gundam ever gets. And I say that knowing full well what comes before and after.
It really is the encapsulation of the poor direction that Gundam definitely wants to go in these days. One that is kind of also sapping of its character, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it later.
Here's the problem with Gundam Unicorn. In trying to eliminate it to end war forever, they glorify war by making some of the coolest looking machines of death that they've ever put out, and make them look awesome by making them be so completely destructive of the other side's armies.
When you're trying to say that war is bad, but also make war cool as hell.
The Unicorn Gundam, all of its forms, is the complete antithesis of the philosophy they've been preaching for the past 30 years at that point.
Yep.
War is bad, but also
buy our merch.
But also check out how fucking cool war looks. Anyway,
moral quandaries. Capitalism. You became the thing you feel the most.
So Unicorn was a thing that I watched that was pretty but fucking stupid. Let's see. We watched Char's Counterattack. That was a movie that
unfortunately was rough.
I do not like that movie. I hate Char in that movie. He's a fucking idiot.
We'll talk about that more as we get to it.
We'll get there next time. After that came Victory Gundam, and Victory Gundam is something that I feel all kinds of conflicted about, which is weird because for what I thought was an actual, for real, true, split down the middle 5 out of 10, not the worst thing ever, because a 5 out of 10 means average, does not mean 0, as most people think it means.
Yep.
Victory Gundam is probably one of the series that has actually stuck with me the most, not because it's depressing. I think I find all of its quote-unquote depressing scenes to be very funny, unintentionally hilarious. Then I made a hell of a jump to Mobile Suit Gundam Reconquista in G.
Oh yeah, that one I've heard many things about.
Which is 1,000 years into Universal Century's future.
Oh, a small jump, you know.
To the Reguild Century, which is the same thing, just given a new title because we've moved past the past, or I forget what the reason was, but yeah. That was also something that I absolutely loved, and the critics are wrong. It's not that hard to follow. A little convoluted, but not completely incomprehensible.
They're portraying this the wrong way. He wrapped himself in a trash bag for a re-entry.
Yes, he did, but we can't
show that. That would be funny.
We can't show something with fluid animation.
Nope.
We gotta be hard, rigid, and cold.
He literally survived re-entry to Earth by wrapping the Gundam in a giant trash bag. It's fucking amazing.
And so that was something I absolutely adored. Then went on to cap it all off with Turn A Gundam. The end point of all of Gundam Forever. And I know what some of you are saying, shouldn't you have waited until you watched the entire Gundam Collective before you did that?
No.
Probably. But I didn't have any plans to watch the entire Gundam Collective at that point.
It just bled into it at some point.
I got bored when I got bored and panicked when I realized, oh wait, the quarantine wasn't over by August.
Nope. Like a functioning country probably would have. Most of the other world, what's the rest of the world? Nope. We still suck.
So Turn A Gundam was something that I was also conflicted on, but mostly loved. God, the villains in that show are something awful. And I took a couple months off. I had that quarantine panic again, then went back and watched the non-UC shows. And I guess we'll get to those at another time because I'm not done with that project yet. I just wrapped up another step.
Yep. You're getting to Wing next time.
Yes.
That's funny because I was going to take it upon myself to watch Wing, but we can both watch it since you're so close anyway.
My trajectory ever since has been... I watched After War Gundam X, which was an absolute joy of a time to watch at 39 episodes. Absolutely loved it. It's an amazing characters, amazing story. One of my favorites, 10 out of 10.
Nice.
Then just finished up Gundam Age, and boy, if Giren is Hitler, Flit Asuno is Giga Hitler.
Mecha Hitler.
Giren is the Virgin Hitler.
Yes.
Flit Asuno is the Chad Hitler.
Guys, where's the sun comparison to Hitler coming from? There's a precedent for this. We'll get to it. For those not familiar, I want this to be a great punchline. That'll be later on, though. Anyway, so to briefly, that brief synopsis aside, I've watched like half of what Brandon's watched. I've watched. Well, first of all, what's currently happening is it's essentially just white base going between. It's essentially a very like 1970s anime thing where you're just going around like from town to town, just being pursued by the villain, trying to do small menial tasks, see if you can get one over on other people, etc., etc. Following very loose, poor directions from Earth Federation because they don't really give two shits about white base right now.
Char is a cartoon villain for the first half.
He really is
Mobile Suit Gundam because it's like. Every episode, he's just there in the background waiting to try to hunt them down.
It's literally a Looney Tunes cartoon for like the first half of it.
It's Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
It's like literally up until like they actually go back into space from Jaburo that it actually tries to become a show again. But until then, it's just like we got the villain of the week, which is this member of the zombie family. Where can they do things? Which is one of the reasons why I feel like 79 is great, but it also falls apart in storytelling, hence the poor aging bits. Anyway, sorry. Also, some decent characters. Kai's a good boy. Voiced by Inuyasha.
Yes.
As for my experiences with the Gundam, I have a friend who I met in college who did introduce me to Gundam, and I watched half of 79 then, but I didn't get much further. Brandon convinced me to watch 00. Yes. Which I did, and now it's fun. The thing about a lot about Gundam is that you don't necessarily need to watch other series to enjoy one singular thing. Like IBO is great by itself, 00 is great by itself.
If anyone tells you to start with Universal Century, run from that person and never turn back.
There is an argument to be made for it, but here's the thing: Universal Century is Star Wars. You may think I'm exaggerating. It is not.
Here's the thing about that, and I'm going to use an actual apt comparison, an apt example. A couple of Gundam shows just launched on Funimation's app 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Those shows were the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, and Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. Of all of the shows that were, that launched, if anyone asked me how to start Gundam on Funimation's app with what's available,
Don't.
I would honestly tell them start with your available options. Start with Gundam Seed. I'm not even kidding.
No.
Because here's the thing: you are never going to sell a new fan, a prospective new fan on a series from the 70s.
Nope.
It's not going to happen. You can't sell them on Unicorn because, yes, it looks cool, but they'll have no idea what the hell is going on.
Here's the thing. Doing that is like telling someone to if they want to get into video games, to tell them to start with Super Mario Brothers.
No, it's telling them to start with the Atari.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You can sell someone on Mario 1 or Mario 3. You're not going to be able to sell anyone on the Atari.
Because, like, as the UC fan here, like, granted, there is, like, it's really good, but UC is a goddamn fucking commitment. When I say it's like Star Wars, one, you have to literally just Jedi, I mean, really, as well as a lot of actual algorithms.
Let me put it in perspective. To watch the whole of UC, it took me a year.
Yep.
And there's so much intercutting between all the different OVAs. Some series you have to watch in a certain order. Some of them run backwards.
Yep.
Some of them are blasted into the future, etc. It's completely incomprehensible. If you want someone to get into it, you show them any of the alternate universe spin-off shows.
Yep.
You show them 00. You show them Orphans.
You show them 00. You show them Orphans. And then if they're convinced that they do actually like this show and want to see its origin, then you recommend 7 and 9. And even then, I would recommend 8th MS Team first. I would recommend the Holy Trilogy. The Holy Trinity of the Trilogy OVAs.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. This is one of those.
Okay, then.
Hey, dude, don't worry. You're maxed out. They won't live very long.
No, but actually, wait. Oh, this is one of the ones that... Okay, it does it. Never mind. There's a handful of suits, not even just mobile armor, just regular-sized suits that don't have full combos. That just has a list of
like
fucking
ball. The gun cannon does do enough by itself, thanks to the absolute madman that is Kai. Luckily, that there is a full moveset for it. Also, if you get the chance, can you actually like pull up like? Can you show the gun cannon full frame to the camera? Look how fucking goofy and bulky this is. Dude, this is full on Voltron shit. Look, it's so...
shut up.
It's so non-symmetrical. Alright, it's so non-ergonomic. It's made of rectangles and spheres.
Oh.
And now we have the actual design.
Thank you.
It does do that, don't worry.
Right, no, that's what happens just about every time, with the exception of the mobile armor stages.
From what I loosely remember, I think there's only like one stage in Zeta that does this, so that's not even that big a deal. Even the juggles between the Hyakushiki and Zeta Gundam.
Yeah, those are both good suits, so there's no problem there.
Ooh, Smash 5 seems to be the intro pose. It's kind of cool. That's a neat touch. Anyway, show that.
I'm gonna go step on these buildings.
Yeah, no, Gundam itself, the reason why I think it's not selling great in the West is because, well, one, Bandai does not like marketing it, because they immediately assume that the West is the buy Gundam, haha, her.
They also, for 10 years, put it on Sci-Fi instead of Toonami. On Sci-Fi's Anna Mondays, which airs at like 2 a.m.
Yep. You know,
also, they just stopped dubbing them for a while.
It sounds weird, but I actually caught clips of Anna Mondays from time to time back in like 2006 when WWE started running their ECW reboot on Sci-Fi. Anna Mondays ran right after it, and sometimes I would catch clips of like weird stuff that my dad was watching, and I was just like, huh, this looks interesting. I didn't know what the hell anything was, but it looked kind of neat.
That's where you watch weird crap like Toko and Descendants of Darkness, which is weird for Sci-Fi because that was a yaoi.
Yeah. Anything to bring in the Toonami demographic, why not?
I think that was a yaoi with vampires. So, sure.
Why not? Fuck it. It could do well. They're not gonna know any better. Whatever.
So yeah, that was your first problem. I'm pretty sure that was where Gundam Seed ran as well.
Well, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, and also the fact that I was talking. Shit, I was talking about
Gundam not selling well.
Gundam not selling well. Is also the fact that modern Bandai just does not know how to fucking handle it.
Modern Bandai was so incapable of doing anything that in 2012 they had to shutter their doors completely, cancel many planned releases that apparently got far along into production that they actually had dubs recorded for certain shows.
Yep.
I'm not even in 2011 or 2010, they announced that they were going to be releasing Turn A Gundam, that they had a dub recorded, and that got shafted completely because they were stupid and decided we're going to sell 4-episode DVD singles into the year 2012.
You guys need to understand something about
Bandai Visual Entertainment.
Bandai's handling of Gundam. Gundam is very much centralized around selling figurines, aka Gunpla, if you're not familiar with that. First of all, don't try to invest in Gunpla if you have the opportunity to, because that's a money sink, and you will quickly lose all your savings. Be very careful about it, anyway.
It's worse than gacha.
It is objectively worse than gacha, because hundreds of dollars for one figurine. But anyway,
and these take up actual physical space.
This would actually cause like a lot of tension between like Bandai itself and like Tomino and other past directors, because it'd be like, I want to structure my show so that way like the main suit comes in later, so there's more build up for it. But then Bandai's like, no.
not Bandai, the toy sponsor,
yeah,
Clover.
But then the toy sponsors would be like, nah, nigga, we got to be selling this stuff. So it's like, no,
they had
to have to.
Victory Gundam was that actually was Bandai. Victory Gundam was especially fucked because the original plan wasn't to introduce the Victory Gundam until episode 4. So what they had to do was they had to take clips from episode 4, or jam them into the first episode, dude, and then to tell that story backwards. Pretend that the story was being told in medias res, where we're starting from the end of a battle and then telling you. I bet you're wondering how I got here.
One of my funniest examples, it just have the animation studio just bumping up against like what the director wants, is the Exia turning into the 00 Riser. So to give a brief synopsis, the Exia is one of the few Gundams that's drawn non-symmetrically. Asymmetrically, which is cool.
I think a couple of them in the first season were like that, actually.
I think you're right. Which is cool, because it adds visual like differences. It makes them look visually distinct. That's kind of sick. But then, like...
They stand out in silhouette.
But then Bandai was like, dude, this is hard as hell to draw because we can't just flip... Sunrise was like, this is hard as hell to draw because we can't just flip the model. So they're like, fine. We can't just flip our assets, whatever, then.
And then Exia got like 17 million redesigns. Have you seen the Exia Dark Matter?
No.
Go on your phone and look up the Exia Dark Matter.
Okie dokie. I wonder what this is going to entail. What kind of weird shit am I about to be in for?
We're about to go 3 times faster is what's going to happen.
Oh, fuck. What the fuck?
Have you found it?
I think I found it. What
is it? Red and purple?
What is this weird cherry-looking thing?
Yeah, it's the Exia Dark Matter. It's just a model kit. I don't think it has no actual story ties that I'm immediately aware of. It's a kit that was released either just this past year, I guess, at the time of this upload, or the year before.
That is true. That's true. Maybe it's buried in the manga somewhere. Oh god. Okay. There's a whole other side of Gundam media that we haven't been talking about yet. The manga is so vastly different from the anime sometimes that's where you occasionally get good shit like Hathaway's Flash, from what I understand.
Also, that's where there is 80 million manga, but like not a one of them has ever been less than
a couple of them are translated, I think.
Less than a dozen of them have ever been officially translated legally.
Yeah, officially, that's the trick. Fans don't give two shits.
That you'll never get in the stores, and most of them either end up getting canceled anyways or never getting translated. There's a manga called Advance of Zeta, which was a prequel to Zeta that goes into a lot more detail about the war crimes that the Titans committed before Zeta started proper. That got canceled. There was a manga called Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans Gecko, which is sort of represented.
If you run up and do a Muso, you should kill him instantly.
that is sort of represented in SD Gundam Generation Cross Rays, but that manga was also canceled relatively early on.
Fuck you, Garma!
And then we're about to not betray anyone in our lives.
Well, I've never betrayed anyone, ever.
Oh god, those subs.
They show it. Oh, it's so compressed. The wrong bloodline. You know, it sucks because they're actually marginally good friends back in Origin. Not anymore.
Sure, you can portray it like that.
Yeah. It's been a... I really should have watched the rest of Origin. Oh, yeah. The things I've watched... Oh, yeah. I didn't finish going over what I've actually watched all for fucking Gundam. Right. 79. Zeta this past week. I killed literally the entire... Like, the latter half of it. 20 episodes in like a week. That was fun. IBO, all of it. Double O, all the movies, both seasons and the movie. I feel like there's more. CCA, obviously. F91.
Yes.
There's definitely more I'm not remembering. But it's fine. It's probably just like a couple one-off movies.